Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Now we're back doing a little video on the machine side of things today. Now this video, I have to say, is kind of like a sponsored video. It wasn't expected, it wasn't planned, but I will say that because I don't want anyone to be, oh, you're only talking about saying because you got one for free. Somebody kindly, unknown to me, or unbeknown to me, sent me something through the post a couple of weeks ago, and the bell went, see the courier, got the little parcel, no idea what it was, tiny little parcel, and looked at the name on the box, and it was a name, I hope I pronounced this right, Karpas Engineering. And there's the name of the director there, Thomas Karpas. I'm not sure. Apologies about how to pronounce your name. Tom, he's a director. He's the fellow who runs the company. He owns the company. Anyway, turns out that was the name on the package. So I Googled who it was because never heard of them before. Looked like they do some really cool stuff, machining, CNC, all sorts of parts. Better than I do, that's for sure. Laser stuff, this, that and the other. Anyway, so I phoned him up and said, can I speak to Tom? I said, it's Mark here from Kinsey Fabrications. I've just received your parcel from the courier. And he said, I did wonder when you was going to get that. I make a USB Legacy Connect, which is a device for transferring files wirelessly from your PC or your laptop to your machine. Not just HAS machine, could be any machine, doesn't matter what it is. And he said, I've seen your videos, I like your stuff, and I saw the one about you've got a new control, you're back and forth to the USB. He said, I thought I'd send you one of our products and you can, you know, see how you get on. I said like, oh wow, you know, cheers for that. Unexpected, nice little surprise, very kind of you. And I said, oh, well, let me try it out. I'll see what's what and I'll do a little video. He said, you haven't got to do a video. I didn't send it for that reason. By all means, if you want to, I just thought I'd send you one and yeah, give us some feedback. So he put a lot of time and effort in the device to do the software side of it and how it works. I don't know that sort of stuff, so I won't even pretend to say what I'm talking about. But basically, normally I will go to the control, I'll post-process, download it to a USB, walk back to the machine with the USB, plug it in, upload the program, and then sometimes if I'm making changes on speeds and feeds, I'll then get the USB out, go back to the PC or the laptop, change, back to the control, back forwards, and I'll walk and sit at the desk, and you couldn't be any closer in my workshop. It's literally about 6 metres away, maybe 10 by the time I've walked around the dog sofa and the desk and everything. But the amount of times I go back here, realise I've left the USB in the machine, or I go to the machine and realise I left the USB at the laptop, or I picked up the wrong use. I was just backwards and forwards, wasted time, and it's only me, and fair dues, it's not the end of the world, but somebody sent me this item for free. I'm very grateful for that to Tom, much appreciated. So yeah, brilliant, let's give it a go. Now it's a shame that I sold the VF0E, needs must, like I said, times have been a bit harder than I'd like them to be. So we've got the VF1 with the older control. Now, it's not gonna work. We haven't actually tried it, but as far as Tom's aware, he never designed it for this control to see if it works. So I'm going to look into that. But on here, because that's going to show up as a 2 gig USB. On the older control, they need to show up as a 1.44 floppy emulator side of things. So I don't think that's going to work unless you could set that up as a 1.44 floppy emulator, but that is not something that is available through here now. But anyway, going back to this, it's a shame I've only got one control because obviously I can't use it on both machines now. But nevertheless, now we've got that, basically this is your USB that will stay in the machine and wirelessly connect to the laptop. Now, yes, I know some of you are going to say, oh, I've got a next gen control and it does that anyway. Fine, yes, the newer controls do that. I don't know how they work, but I've never owned one. But anything that's pre-next gen, so 2015 or earlier, the net share that these machines have as an option, up here, your net share is not supported anymore. HAS do not support it. There was something I read about protocols and security, so it doesn't work. I have seen online on a YouTube video someone set up with a Raspberry Pi, and you have a router, and you do this, that, and the other. And that's kind of what all these devices are. They're kind of set up as like mini PCs attached here. I don't know the technical side of it, but there is workarounds. So there's lots of these sort of things around. There's other companies that make them that have been around making them for ages. So it kind of is what it is, but this is Tom's version of it, and he sent me one for free, and I'm well happy. So yeah, now I don't have to go backwards and forwards with my USB. You can go to his website. There's his website there, karpas.co.uk, karpas.co.uk. And then under products, up here, you can click on there, and there's Legacy Connect USB. Now it tells you all about the features, what it does, how it works, what it works with, a few pictures. Now you can shop Legacy Connect, or you can inquire about it. The price is on the website, $399. And if you click on that, whether you get deals if you want multiple, or you can swap one of these between two machines. Obviously that may be a bit of a pain if you've got two people running two machines. You probably don't want to share a device, but it can be done. Prior to me selling the VF0E last Friday, when I was trying this, I did swap it between two machines. It doesn't matter how many, you could swap it between 10 machines if you so wanted to. So yeah, or you could have multiples of them, you know, it's entirely up to you. And when you go on to the products page, there's a section here which shows how to set it up. So you click on that and it opens up. Oh, I've got the same bit opened up twice. You can click on that and it's got step-by-step guide of how to set up your Legacy Connect USB device. And it literally walks you through it. So even for me, not too tech savvy with the PCs and stuff, it was simple to set up. So now when I want to post out a part, rather than messing around with my USB like I normally do, I can go to the post. I configured the Legacy Connect as a Z drive on my laptop, and then I just post out like normal. Mine always opens up the notepad editor because that's how I've got it set. And then when I come out of there, I can look in my PC now. There's the Z drive, Legacy Connect, double click on that, and there's the bit I just posted out, speed sensor bracket OP1. Now, when you're opening this and you're dropping stuff in, or you're deleting stuff out of here, because you cannot send backwards, you can't send from the control back to the PC or the laptop, it only goes one way. So even though it will give you the option to delete off of the Legacy Connect when you see it in there as a USB device, it doesn't delete it from your Z drive. You do all the deleting and adding here at the computer. So there, for example, I'm going to delete that one, and let's delete final OP3. So all we should have is speed sensor, OP1 and OP2. Now once I close that, the USB Legacy Connect is going to do a disconnect and then a reconnect, and then that will update any files that's on there. So you don't have to delete stuff off it, you can keep leaving it on, you can keep reposting the program with the same name. So if it isn't OP1, OP2, OP3, OP4, if you just called it part 1 and then you repost because you've changed the feeds and speeds of an item, or you've changed the tool or something like that, you just repost it and it will automatically update. It will do a disconnect and a reconnect at the machine, and the new version will be there. I like to number the versions or have a different name so you know you're on the latest version. But now, rather than messing around with the USB stick backwards and forwards, I can go over to the machine, ignore the alarm because I've got it in e-stop because compressor's off. So yeah, you'd be, I don't know, you'd be in the middle of a program. So now you can press your list programs. You can go across to USB device. It shows up as a 2 gig USB. Press enter, and there is my item, speed sensor OP2, speed sensor OP1. So if I now, you don't have to tick it, press F2, gives you the option of what you want to do. I always transfer it to memory. and then it will tell me, do I want to overwrite? And I'll say, yeah, let's overwrite, and then bang, she's in there. And that's it, no backwards and forwards with a USB stick in my hand, going to the laptop, forgetting that he's still in the machine, going to the machine, forgetting he's still on the laptop, even though my unit is tiny and it is literally about probably 10-metre walk around by the time I come around the desk back to the machine. Still, the amount of wasted walking I've done backwards and forwards does drive me nuts. So yeah, okay, this is potentially, people see this as a lot of money when a USB can be £1 or so, but if you've got a bigger workshop, or you've got more machines, or you've got more people, and maybe you've even got a programmer and an operator, so you don't want him coming in and out, and he can just say, yep, I'll send you the file, or I'll send you the revised version of a program, you know, whatever works for you. This will come in handy, and it is definitely going to save you time. Now, yeah, there's loads of other options out there. There's people on YouTube that have made their own version, so that's entirely up to you what you do. You know, like I say, Tom didn't send me this to absolutely big it up and tell you it's the best thing in the world. I'm giving you my honest opinion that I really like it. And would I buy one for myself? Yes, I would, you know. I can't tell you about the other brands and versions that are out there because I've not used them, but I've used this and I'm well happy with it. So yeah, USB Legacy Connect from Karpas Engineering. They're the guys who sent it to me. Massive thanks goes out to Tom for sending it to me because I really appreciate it and I really like it. So yeah, go and have a look for yourself if it's something you're interested in. But cheers for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the content, and we'll see you again soon.